are focusing pretty much on meeting the safety standards. And it's not only meeting the safety standards, it's also like influencing the safety standards and showing the German authorities that there are technical possible ways to make a safe robot or to make a safe mobile robot. And that's also kind of the discussion which we are working on in Germany with the TÜV and with the German authorities to step by step, let's say, like improve the norms, the standards to a matching point where we can live with on both sides. So I have a safe robot, and this also being respected by the authorities.
The National Institute of Standards and Technology has working groups in place actively working to develop safety standards and technical specifications actually to make these systems certified to be safe to work in the factories in and among people. And one of the key principles behind that is speed operation. So you need the robot to slow as it gets closer to the person, and then of course stop before it makes contact with the person. And so that's necessary for safety, but you can imagine if a robot's always just slowing and then stopping when a person gets near it, you can very quickly destroy the benefit of having that robot there. If people are too close to that robot too often, the robot it's not necessarily allowed to get its job done. And so the next step that we're looking at beyond that is how do we sense the environment, anticipate where people are going to be, and cleverly plan motion paths that allow the robot to maneuver around people without this kind of stop and go. What we really rely on is the fact that the safety standards and specifications are in place and that there's wider and wider use of these systems, and we're really focused on how we make the most efficient use of this new technology through advanced planning and scheduling of the systems interacting with people.
Yeah, these days all the robots are still in cages, and everybody is more or less like afraid of them, despite our groups probably. But yeah, it's really important that this prediction, this scheduling, what will happen next, and also so that the robot can anticipate what's the human doing as the next step, helps on the other hand for the humans to feel comfortable with the robot, because it feels like, okay, he's reacting to me. I don't have to pay attention to him, what the robot is doing on the next step. No, it's the other way around. The robot takes attention what I'm planning to do or what I intend to do, and he understands what's a natural workflow. And that's, I guess, really important is this interface, and also this on the level of collaboration, that this kind of understanding exists. It's not a real understanding, but it's just like an anticipation, yeah, what can happen next, and that makes the people feel comfortable working closely together with robots.
You want the robot to behave in a predictable manner, that someone looking at the robot can imagine what that robot will do next and rely on that robot adapting to the person being in that space. It's critical to the adoption of the technology that people feel safe and trust the technology that's moving in and among them.
And I guess that's also really important, or for me at least, or in my understanding, the expectation of humans concerning robots depends pretty much on how the robot looks like. So if it looks human or too close to a human, they expect human reactions, so that it anticipates and reacts like a human. But if the robot looks different, they have more the expectation, okay, this is a machine, it's not intelligent, and I do not expect too much from it. And I guess that's a tricky point, to find this perfect match between the design of the robot so that it can fulfill the tasks, and on the other hand, does meet the right level of expectation of the associates and workers.